It's me, MLB. Here's chapter 76 of Chance Ball, and this one is titled Dabi and Fueji Being Best Bros. You looked at the time, and it was around 3 p.m, so you did a quick calculation and thought ahead to put her down at bed around 6 p.m, and thought that might work. We just need to keep her awake for a little longer, and then we can start dinner, then bath, then off to bed for her. Then Mummy and Daddy can have some time together, he added suggestively, sliding his hand up your thigh. Stop that, you chuckled, swatting his hand away and standing up. Come on, let's go for a walk. Can I get my pink bike? Koemi suddenly gasped with excitement when she heard you say walk. The walk was a good idea, as it kept Missy K happy and awake until you got home. And then the tired tantrum started. Mummy, can we have a picnic for dinner? She asked expectantly. No, we can have a quick dinner and then off to bed for you, you explained. But I want picnic, she pouted. You already had a picnic with Daddy today. But I want another one, she escalated her voice on the end. Excuse me, you sassed her. Don't talk to me like that. I want picnic! I want picnic! I want picnic! She screamed suddenly. Well, you're going to have a bath until you calm down, you said firmly, picking her up and carrying her to the bathroom while she kicked and screamed. What's going on? Dabi asked when he heard all the screaming in the bathroom. Sassy Pants here has sassed her last sass, you said in an irritated voice. So she's going to have a bath until she calms down. Oh, I see. Dabi said as he watched you wrestle the clothes off this pint-sized ball of defiance. Finally, you got her clothes off and then started to run the bath while she screamed the place down, her shrill shrieks bouncing off the walls and making your ears ring. Even though the easier option would be to just give in and do a picnic for dinner, you remained strong and didn't even look at her as you got the bath prepared. Then, without another word, you picked her up and firmly sat her down on her bottom in the bath. She screamed initially, but then stopped when she suddenly saw her daddy with Wobble Ball. In the middle of the screaming fit, Dabi had disappeared to call in reinforcements and had re-emerged with Wobble Ball. What's that? He asked the ball as he appeared beside the bath with the ball to ear. You think you might go and live somewhere else, because Ko's being too loud? Koemi's eyes shot wide open with mortification and stopped her screaming immediately. No, Wobble Ball, I want you to stay with me, she said in a pleading voice. Dabi held the ball up to his ear again and nodded and then made some sounds of confirmation and looked back down at Koemi in the bath. Okay, Wobble Ball says it won't go anywhere, as long as you have a fun bath and have your dinner without any more complaining, he said calmly. Yes, okay, I have a fun bath and eat dinner and then Wobble Ball stay with me, she said, picking up one of her favourite bath toys and playing with it immediately. Her change in attitude was so quick it made your mind reel, and you looked up at Dabi with a not bad little nod and facial expression, and he did the okay sign, and then slowly backed out of the bathroom with Wobble Ball in hand. And the rest of the night went smoothly from there. Koemi had no more tantrums, and before you knew it, she was asleep and you had been whisked off to the bedroom. The next day was back to normal for you all. You and Koemi went to training while Dabi went to practice. Or did he? Yo, Hanta, he called to Fueji as he walked into the practice courts. What's up, sexy? Fueji replied with a sly grin on his face. You want to skip class? Dabi asked with a smirk. For what? Ring shopping. Oh, you and me? Matching rings? You wish. It's for me and the missus. Dabi replied with a chuckle. I'm going to ask her to marry me for real this time. What do you mean, this time? Fueji asked. We're engaged with chicken nugget rings and I call her my wife to everyone, but I should probably make it official, yeah? Dabi replied. She'd probably appreciate that, Fueji replied with an eye roll. How have you managed to keep her, man? If this were any other person, she'd have left you already. It's because of my dick. The monster keeps her satisfied. Dabi said proudly. Let me have a ride one day so I can see what she gets, Fueji replied. Dude, I swear you're gay, one of the other players commented to Fueji when he overheard the conversation between the two males. I'm gay for Dabi. Yeah, only for me. Dabi piped up. Sorry if you wanted in. The other player shook his head and walked away to leave the two guys to themselves. So you in? I want to surprise her. Dabi said. Yeah, dude. We're going now? Yeah. Hey, boys, Fueji called loudly to the rest of the team, making them stop mid-training to look at him. Dabi and I are going to have a quickie behind the bushes. We'll be back. Use protection, someone called, and Fueji gave him the finger. I let Dabi hit it raw, he called back. Completely unfazed by just how gay they sounded, the boys picked both their bags up and left together, leaving behind them a very confused team. They're not really, are they? One guy asked seriously to a teammate, earning himself a smack to the back. Of course not, you idiot. Do you even know them? They screw around like this all the time, but I know for a fact that Dabi is obsessed with his girl, and her only. Yeah, they've been together since high school, another piped up. He told me that he taught her how to screw and then he got addicted, another chimed in. Yeah, all of that doesn't surprise me, the first guy said with a chuckle and a sigh. He sounds like he was a bit of a dick in school, but I don't know. He seems a little bit more mature now. Nah, not mature, the second guy added as he picked up a volleyball and spun it on his finger. Just more protective and more dependable. Yeah, that's it, the first said. I wish them all happiness though, especially with their little girl. When I find myself a girl, I'm going to strive for the same relationship Dabi and his girl have, the third said. First you got to find a girl, you ugly bastard, the second teased him. Shut up, ears, like you're any better looking than I am, the offended teammate retaliated. Okay, the first interjected. Let's practice. You got any idea of what type of ring she wants? Fueji asked Dabi as they stepped into the jewellery place in their Blue Flames gym gear, looking hot as hell. Dabi hummed, looking around at the rings. Hi, can I help you? A young girl asked, giving her best smile as she approached the guys. Looking for a ring for him and his girl, Fueji said, pointing at Dabi. And for you? She asked him. Nah, I'm single, he said with a small chuckle. She smiled bashfully and reached for her hair to twist it around her finger as she gave him a flirtatious look. Okay, well, let me show you what we have here, she said, paying more attention to Fueji as she led them to the cabinets at the back and started to explain the rings, the cuts, the different stones or gems that you could have put in them, and a few other things. Dabi listened carefully and looked over the rings, but none stood out for him, so she moved on to the next cabinet. That one looks nice, Fueji said to Dabi, pointing to a matching ring set in the glass window. Dabi hummed with uncertainty. He was looking for something specific, but he just didn't know how to describe it properly, so was wanting to see if they had something already in store. I like that one, the shop assistant said to Fueji. You have good taste in rings. My ex never got anything nice. Well, your ex was a fool, Fueji scoffed. You deserve to have pretty rings and anything else you like. This made the girl blush, and she giggled shyly, and then looked away to hide her smile. Dabi could see what was going on between these two, and was going to say something about the place smelling like hormones, but was more interested in finding your rings than anything else, so held his tongue. You got any, in this particular style? Dabi said to the girl, describing it to her. She looked from him to Fueji, and then back to him. Oh, yes, come with me. Fueji followed closely behind her, and Dabi sauntered on after him. You good at your job? Fueji flirted when she stopped in front of the next cabinet. Oh, I've been here for like a year now, so I know what I'm doing, she said shyly, blushing and giggling and putting her arms behind her back so that popped her boobs out more. Yo, can you, show me the rings, and I'll buy them so that you two can get it on the storeroom out the back? Dabi deadpanned, unable to take their flirting anymore. The poor girl flushed red with embarrassment, and Fueji scoffed. Don't mind my boyfriend, he snickered, shooting Dabi a look. He's just jealous. Yeah, jealous. Now can I please have a matching set of this particular type? He explained. The girl nodded, with her head down, and gingerly pointed to something close by. Well, this is close to what you described, so if you want to have a closer look, she asked with her head still down, seemingly quite embarrassed by Dabi's offhanded comment, and couldn't make eye contact with either of them now, which made Fueji scramble for something to say that would make her feel better. Thanks, Dabi grunted, as he crouched a little to have a look at the rings. Don't mind him, Fueji said in a calming voice to her, giving her a gentle smile. But, forgive me for being too forward, but instead of screwing in the storeroom, can I take you out for dinner or coffee sometime? Her eyes shot up and met his, and he grinned and ran a hand through his hair to ruffle it a bit. Sorry, I just didn't want to pass up this opportunity, he said, feigning a little shyness. Oh, no, it's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah, coffee. Let's get coffee. My name's Susa. Hunter, he said with a smirk, and extended his hand to hers, presumably for her to shake. She took his hand, and he held it lightly before turning the back of her hand up and bending his head down to give her a kiss on the back of her hand. Surprised by such a move, she didn't know what to do, so giggled instead while he let it go, and then told her he was looking forward to the next time they met. Can I get your number, or Insta? He asked. Oh, sure. Hit me up on Insta, she said, waiting for him to pull his phone out before the pair spent time finding her account for him to friend her. Now that you two are done, can I get these rings? Dabi said in a dead voice. Don't be jealous that I have a smoking hot date and you don't, Fueji teased. I've got something better. I've got 2 girls at home. I'm out to make one of them my wife and the other a flower girl. He smirked at his friend and waited for the assistant to open the cabinet, which he was all too happy to do now that her and Fueji had made plans. The assistant, Susa, was now on a bit of a high and quickly rang up the items for Dabi while Fueji continued to flirt with her, and in a matter of seconds Dabi had the rings in boxes and was ready to go. I'll DM you, Fueji said to her before leaving, and she giggled her reply, and then the 2 boys left. You just couldn't help yourself, could you? Dabi teased Fueji as they exited, grabbing his friend in a headlock and then scrubbing his knuckles on the back of his head. Hey man, she's super hot, okay? And she's my type, giggly and friendly. The word you're looking for is ditzy, Dabi said, letting Fueji go. She's still hot, Fueji replied with a smirk. You got your rings anyway, so what's up your ass? Nothing, man. I'm happy for you, Dabi said with a shrug. I'm just teasing. We have to double date, Fueji said as they walked side by side down the road. Done, Dabi said, holding his hand out for a hand slap. Now I've got to figure out how to do this. Do what? Ask Yin to marry me. I know she'll say yes, so maybe I'll organise the wedding and just take her there on the day. He shrugged. Actually, Fueji said thoughtfully, that is a very you thing to do. I say do it. Dabi thought for a second and then grinned and let out a devious chuckle. You know what? I'm gonna. Honestly, we should just never trust Dabi at all. He's just a menace, but we'll see how that goes. Stay tuned for the next chapter coming tomorrow. I'll see you all then.